on the system to get it better. Also, I have too many questions for you. My goodness. Much appreciated. And I would like to get on to the main topic which I really want us to talk about. That can we please get on to the IPHC Church saga? I could not even sleep. I could not even sleep because there has been so many questions about it. So many questions about it, including the fact that they want to know if you are still part of it. So just a minute. Let my team get the cameras correct. Correct, yes. Okay. It's refusing. Yes. Yes, there is. There is.
Here you go.
Oh, okay. Please, let's change. Let's just make sure we change phones. Is that one all right?
Yeah, that's what I see.
Okay. And we're good. Perfect. Well, technology.
No, it's fine.
Yes. Sometimes it can give us problems. However, Dada Musa, I have concerning questions. Especially, I'd like us to start with the IPHC Church saga. Look, we tried avoiding it for many reasons, including reasons for to let the process in terms of the police and in terms of the courts and in terms of the commission to take precedence. But we cannot anymore. We have to focus on it. We have to do something about it. My one of my questions is that look, people are crying. They want to understand. When you began, you said you met the three, meaning you met the entire committee when they were still united. Am I correct?
I'm not going to agree. I'm going to fix you.
Okay.
I'll correct you, yes.
Okay,
I'm listening.
perfect. All right. When we first talked about it, you mentioned that you met the three when they were still
they were united.
They were united, and today they are no more united. And I think one of the biggest questions that is happening is that how did you end up, or how is it that people are saying that you are in Mr. Michael Sandlana's corner, or maybe camp, if I may put it that way? Is there any truth in it, or is there something that you can explain which can get the perspective correct?
Look, I think I must be patient with this topic again. Once again, to the viewers, more especially, the IPHC Church is not just a small church.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest ministry in the country. And when I spoke, I mentioned that they were united, and I'm going to maintain that. Unity it was that there was a ESCO at IPHC headquarters in Silo. And the headquarters at Silo, by then, it was the ESCO of the Jack Lehodi, Mr. Mutubati, Mr. Wezi, I think. No, not even Wezi, Mr. Mutubati, Mamohau. They were the ones, Botafu, were the ones that were running Silo. Leonard Modise was in Lenasia. He was at his panel beating or garage somewhere in Extension 1 in Lenasia. Tsepo and Sandana, by then I did not know, because when I was called in the name of the church IPHC. I was not called in a faction of who and who. I never knew those things until I came in place.
Okay.
And I was called specifically for the murder and robbery that occurred at Viking 2016. The murder and robbery that I personally was exposed to and followed when people were killed under the bridge. That is at the Johannesburg South. And by then, I just started this Kisk intelligence company, but many people who came to approach me are people who knew that I'm advanced in terms of counter investigation or tracing.
Okay.
Then they approached me to say I must help the church. It is then I introduced them to the company called Kambisisa Forensic Investigation,
yes,
which is a company of the white guys in Vanguard Park. I then introduced them to that, which the ESCO by then was one. These people came together and met with Kambisisa Forensic Investigation in the Val Vanguard Park. It is then where I handed over my task to say, Kambisisa can run forward while I carry underground work, of which I did do my underground work, but I assigned these white people to work hand in hand with South African Police Service.
Okay.
I'm the one who assigned Kambisisa. I made it a reference because the church members had the confidence in me wanting to do this thing here. Then by then, the church, there were branches nationally, different branches. Of course, they've got branches everywhere.
Yes.
It is then where the issue of funding or paying the services, Lehodi and them, Jack Lehodi, were in Zirbekom, at Silo.
Correct.
And then it is then they came to the office, and I think they paid a deposit of 500,000. That was paid into the account of Kambisisa to do the investigations.
Okay.
And then when that was done, Kambisisa, Mr. Tines, is the guy that was taking their statements and everything, working with the investigating officer Masilel. I introduced the two to work together while I was doing underground intelligence. Remember, my job is to operate with undercovers and operators.
Correct.
My job is to collect intelligence. My job is to identify the targets, and lead and advise the investigating officers in where to go and what to do and how to handle it. Meaning it's more information gathering and more advising and sharing with the necessary police. They must do due diligence and use the process of the law to have a standing case.
Correct.
Now, with that being said, there's a gentleman, I won't mention his name now, but he was and still a close friend of mine, who then said, look, man, since there's a funding needed, how about we go and meet Leonard Modise? It is then I went to Lenasia Extension 1. I met with Leonard Modise in terms of discussing about the budget, because the 500,000 that the ESCO wanted to pay, or they paid, was very small. I think the charge fee was 2.5 million for the entire thing, because this is a wild crime where people died and police somehow implicated. Lots of cops are implicated in this robbery, and the pastors or the priests are involved in this thing. So it is then Tines or these people, I don't know, they started going behind my back, doing their operation without my knowledge, having meetings in different provinces. Seemingly, the very same people, when they realized that we are getting closer to them, they decided to go behind my back and try to squash this case.
Okay.
It is then I wrote an email to Brigadier Basi in Pretoria of anti-corruption in Pretoria.
Yes.
Requesting him, I don't know if you have a document there.
Actually, I do have some documents.
I wrote an email to say to him, I need his immediate intervention of possible corruption of the police and a possible theft.
Yes.
The main charge here is murder and robbery.
Yes.
I initially wrote the email to the brigadier myself. It is then I even put the name of the company there.
Yes.
The name of the company, it's also there, which I wrote to Brigadier to say, this is the company that will be operating leading investigation as a private security, working close with the police. And Brigadier Bassi, then I think he called us to the office, which I took the entire ESCO from IPHC.
Yeah.
I'm the one who introduced them to Brigadier Bassi in Pretoria to go and give their findings or their story regarding the history of the church and the possible theft and corruption of money laundering or something from the Silo church. I remember I followed this thing from Johannesburg, Eastern Cape, everywhere I followed, this matter. Yes, there's a gentleman I remember even commented that it's 17 or 18, he was against me and I said they were united. Yes, I'm saying it. They were united at ESCO and they were one. And then Leonard was still in Lenasia and Tsepo was nowhere to be seen. Even Michael Sandler, he was nowhere to be seen by then. But what has happened is with me realizing that the priests started going behind my back to Brigadier Bassi, also to this Kambisisa company, it became more of curiosity and concern. Why would these people come through me?
Yes.
And suddenly they want to cover the docket.
Yes.
You understand? Till today, they don't know how I managed to maneuver and follow this docket.
Because my next question would then be, if you say they were united at that time, then where was Mr. Leonard and where was Mr. The other gentleman? The two of them, they were not there. You are saying they were not there.
No.
They were nowhere to be found.
Leonard was in Lens.
Right.
And Leonard was still fighting to go back to Silo.
Right.
To take Mamuhau out.
Right.
Remember, Mamuhau is the young wife of the comforter, Mudise. He's the young wife. He's the young wife.
Comforter,
and
yes.
remember, all these things, they happen in a short space of time.
Right.
Where they even have domestic or internal fight of who killed the father, who could have been behind the comforter's death, and so forth. So all those things happened. And the likes like your Jack Lechodi and then other priests, they were on my side to say, Musa, push this thing and let's get to the end of it.
Okay.
But what turned me off is they all went under carpet behind my back with this group of white guys that I brought forward, and they continued to do their own thing. But I did not stop there. I then continued and had my own way to follow the allegations and the crime itself.
Correct.
I then wrote to the National Police Officer, to the National Commissioners, SAPS, to say, but I have a concern that I've reported this matter and so forth. It is then Brigadier Bassi took this matter. I remember Malapile also was there. Captain or Colonel Malapile was also there.
Yes.
So with that meeting, we spoke lots of things.
Yes.
To the extent that they were also more interested in a truck hijacking and human trafficking. But this one of IPHC was a priority because it is what I was called for to assist with this case. So yes, ESCO paid whatever money. I don't know what happened. They started fighting in Cape Town. They're meeting with these white guys in Cape Town behind me now. These white people never came back to me.
Would you say the Mr. Bassi possibly met with the white guys that you introduced to the ESCO before you?
No, they definitely met. Not only him, the investigating officers. I introduced them. Those white guys, I'm the one who introduced them to the SAPS.
Yes.
I'm the one who said they must work, and the case is mine.
Correct.
I'm the one who gave it to Kambisisa forensic investigators. Because I felt I don't want to show myself yet.
Yes.
Because I was still new. 2017 is then when I started this campaign of mine.
Yes.
Yeah. Then from there, I saw a lot of compromise in it. And it bothered me because the whole church was worried about who killed the guys. It's not about the money alone. People died. We cannot play a blind eye and try to choose factions or who belongs to who when people are dead. When people are killed, it's criminal offense, and we must deal with it as it is and get the perpetrators. I don't know if you understand me.
I understand you.
Be it the pastors or the police involved. If they're involved in this crime and then they were part of this heist, these cops and the priest must be arrested.
Okay. My next question is that why would you think, or why do you think the state is biased towards this case? But going a little bit back, I'm trying to understand that and making sense that perhaps if these white guys, they met with Brigadier Bassi before they even, not even before you introduced them, and they went on and do the case without you, because now the ESCO was now,
With
doing with them. Don't you think that bribery began there, and changing of things that were particularly of concern to the church changed there, and you were still on the original mandate?
Look, it's not, don't I think. It happened that there was a corruption and there was backstabbing. And with that, it is the reason I actually pulled a little bit back and did my own counter and collection.
Okay.
Then I don't know what happened. Along the way, they fought again. It is where Mr. Jack Lehodi left, what do you call this? He left Silo.
Okay.
When he left Silo, I don't know where it came, because I never knew these other branches in Pretoria and so forth.
All right.
I only knew the Silo as the IPCC. Or
Because
IPHC.
that's where you
That's
were-
what I know.
Yeah, that's
and
where you
this
were
is where
called.
I was called to.
Correct.
That is the
Yes.
headquarters of IPHC. Even if you can check now on the Google, you say IPHC, you'll get that building. You won't see all these other branches. You understand? That is the headquarters of IPHC. So for me to enter that house is like entering parliament. There's not 10 parliaments in South Africa. There's one
There's
parliament.
only one parliament,
the main
obviously.
parliament. You see,
Yes.
these are other counter parliaments. So now, what happened? Jack Lehodi left that site with other priests.
Yeah.
But remember, it's not for me. I know the church leaders through Jack Lehodi.
Okay.
For me to have known him, he didn't carry my umbrella or my name.
Yes.
He goes to Sandlana's camp. When you go to Mr. Michael Sandlana, he goes there and says, but there's a gentleman who's been helping us with the cases. And this gentleman, his name is Musakumbe, he can help us to follow up. It's then Mr. Michael Sandlana, 2018. I think you've got my appointment letter there.
Actually, if you give me just a second.
Please, can I see the appointment? I had a official mandate
Yes.
appointment letter
Yes.
with what I did. I did not just step in. This is appointment letter. Can they see this one?
Yes.
This was 20. This was 20. What is this? 2018 December, 4 December 2018.
I actually have that. Yes.
You have this. This was official appointment letter I was given.
Yes.
And listen to the appointment letter. What does it say? It says, to whom it may be concerned, on the 4th of December 2018, we are hereby, as leadership of IPHC, International Pentecost Holiness Church,
Yes.
give Mr. Teenage Musa Kumbe, a South African ID so with a cell phone number so a full mandate authority to represent IPHC on its secret and sensitive information.
Correct.
And on top of that, they say Mr. Kumbe duty will be to help South African Police Service with all information, doing research, tracing, and Gemini information that will bring justice to the church and all security department in South Africa.
Yes.
And we hope you will find the above said order humbly with request that you help and work with Mr. Kumbe for any inquiries. This one now was Mr. Michael Sandlana signing this with Jack Lehodi to say I should continue to trace and find out who are the perpetrators of murder, who stole some of the fleet of IPHC, who are the people that they claim that were killed and thrown in that church, and then who, what is the other one? Where is the 10 million or the property that was bought by Mamu Hau? Those are the main data I was given here. This is an official letter which I personally carried with me, and since that time till today, this letter stands. So, of course, Mr. Sandlana here signed with Jackie Lehodi. Remember now, when they started fighting and Mamu Hau this, and in between, you come to discover that Mamu Hau and Tafu or Tefu, the father of Mamu Hau, the late, are now fighting maybe for the leadership of this IPHC.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stand with Mamu Hau after I also discovered that they stole the money, and I know who the boys they did the fraud with, or they paid the money, the 10 million to. So there was no way I will remain.
Yes.
I will still continue with Jack Lehodi because he was the person who introduced me to the church, and I will continue with him because he then showed me Mr. Michael Sandlana to say, this is the person who is the real comforter of the church.
Of the church, correct. I think it answers my questions where, one of my questions where I was about to ask you, does the mandate that you were given back then still stand even today?
No, definitely it does stand because there are lots of crimes that occurred to an extent that, look, that church has got too many police officers inside, And then some of them did not hesitate, threatened me, life to like I must mention their name,
Yes.
they'll kill me.
Yes.
Then West Part, there was a centralization of these cases of IPHC.
Yes.
There are more than 50 or 100 cases, if I'm not mistaken, of this church where they've been fighting.
Yes.
All these cases were centralized under one by SAPS. So all these cases, most of them were closed. There was no justice. People were not arrested. People were injured. People were beaten. Properties were damaged. Question is, how many were arrested? You know?
Yes.
And then why then the law is failing to then arrest perpetrators or instigators
Yes.
of instability?
Correct.
You know?
Yes,
It
yes.
is then where Mr. Sandlana said, continue, Musa, work with the police. Can the police find out the people who are behind this whole thing and let them get arrested?
Now, Mr. Sandlana is because of the recommendation that he got about you and the work that you've done. Now he's mandating you to continue with the very job that you were originally given.
Yes.
All right. Now, to what extent, and I'd like you to elaborate on that. Why do you think the police is involved in this case?
You know what, my brother? It's not just police, even politicians, right?
Okay.
This is one big ministry. When it comes to elections, these are churches that people mobilize masses to vote for them. These are the churches where money, it's plenty because people, they pay, fees, or I don't know what you call this money they collect in churches, but they do a tithe or something.
Yeah,
So people do pay.
Yeah.
And we can't dispute that. Even in theology, my brother, if God gives you strength to live good or to create a beautiful temple for God, you'll use your money to advance the church, the quality, the beauty, and have comfort, all right, in the name of the mighty. But in this regard, most of the corps that are then politicians are people who are also at the leadership, top management of this church, if not, I don't know, committees or what, who see opportunity to loot or to steal from the church monies, And I can tell you, how do you know of that? I mean, how many times they've attempted to go as full force armed robberies to do a heist at the church, because people who are close to counting the monies are the ones who knows that there's a money and the money must be moved, and they don't know the volumes that they're dealing with. That is why they are actually fighting for their positions or fighting to have this leadership thing of the church.
I received some disturbing photos of people injured, people who were hurt. What was going on there?
Like I said, there are branches.
I'd like my to show the viewers. Yes.
Yeah. There were lots of people. There were lots of fight because now remember they were fighting for territory and taking over. And remember when Leonard prepared himself to go back also to Silo, they had to prepare themselves as soldiers that were going to go in by fire by force. Sometimes they are attempted to go to the Silo, and there will be police and there will be heavy security that you can't enter. Where have you seen, like these guys when they pray, they are rifles in the church. You walk in there, it's a rifle. From the gate, you are being searched. I mean, it's more but anyway, it's so tight in that church. When you enter, you feel intimidated. Even police officers, when they walk in there, they start shaking because the type of ammunition and things that were happening there are not easy to understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it went to a point of there were also allegations of human trafficking. There were allegations of firearms exchange. There were allegations of theft of motor vehicles. So all those cases, they come while I'm still on the mandate. So there's no way I will play a blind eye.
I saw a huge list of cases, the IPHC church.
There are so many cases in them. And so they would fight to take territory and Morena. So now, unfortunately, I wouldn't get into that dialogue of who is who and who must benefit what. Because all these things, as you can see, Kuono Sandlana, he's arrested because of bribery, possibly they declare. But then the question also is, what crimes has other parties committed? Have they been accountable?
Yes.
What type of huge corruption most of the police ate from that church? So if SAPS want to deal with corruption, they must start from those cases that they ignored. They must start from scratch because there's so much of police who are corrupted, including ministers,
Actually,
who are beneficiaries of it.
I noticed ukuthi ubabcele ne he centralized all the the dockets ne. I think my main question to you would be, since you were part of this, have you ever been consulted either by the office of Mr. Cele or vele by yena ubaba Cele? Have you ever been consulted, because you were the original guy who was called to investigate all of this?
Nobody has ever engaged with me, because I remember after I tried to engage with them to address this thing nationally, I was a target. There were now PIs following me, trying to kill me. Some of them followed me to Midrand.
Yes.
And I could play them, you know. So until some of them, I confronted them in advance to say, you guys, what you are doing, you cannot win. And it's either you investigate a crime or not. So yes, there was a centralization of the cases, but also there was interfaith that was called to mediate amongst these people. But the most unfortunate part, I wrote emails to the minister myself to ask him to say, can I please be called in to share some of the info? I mean, you can't expect me to elaborate details on a black and white document when your officials and the ministers or some of the top generals are involved in the scandal of the church. And now the guys who did the heist are also protected, because some of the cops, they told me straight that they were paid to back off from the case of murder and robbery. So must we keep quiet about such things? And then why am I still sticking or maybe showing this appointment letter of Mr. Sandland? I do it because he gave me official legal authority to follow the matter. He did not say he's fighting for possession. If you look at in that letter, he was fighting against crime.
I think I read it 5 times.
Yeah, he wanted me to get criminals. He wanted me to save the monies of the church.
Yes.
So I don't want to keep on coming between the trio.
Yes.
You know, to say this is better than who.
Yes.
But I'm saying crime is crime.
Yeah.
And other factions that has committed crime must be dealt with criminally, officially so, be imprisoned if they've committed crime. What's wrong with that? Why should I be the one who get arrested for nothing? Why shouldn't they get arrested when there's cases? Here they are, like I'm saying, they're fabricating false cases against me, and I'm expecting them. And I told them I will smile even when they come and arrest me, because I'll be waiting for them.
Justice must be served.
Yeah.
Would you mind me asking just 2 questions based on Ubabu Sandland? Because I feel like, and in as much as you've been, as much as you have been neutral, working on all these cases that you were mandated to work on, there's just 2 disturbing things that I got. One, Ubabu Sandland has, okay, let me not say has. Let me say allegedly has 3 ID documents.
You see, I don't want to talk like I'm talking on his behalf. What's your question there?
Okay, fine. Let me get to the second question, then I'll wrap them up, both of them. And also, apparently there's a bus that is also registered under his names. Would you... I don't think I have a particular question on that. I think you, as an investigator, what I would say is that, is there a way that you can clarify that situation for us as you know, as individuals, and understand if it's true, and in what case would that happen?
You know, since this matter is under estate and it's big and everyone feels entitled, I think beneficiaries of the estate, even in normal cases or families, when there's an estate that doesn't have a will, it's always a problem, because people or relatives or uncles, they feel entitled. So all the trio, they feel entitled. So everyone feels that they're entitled to the estate or to the assets of the estate. I can tell you some of the estates that I think there's an account to every estate that is opened if there's an estate where the monies or the assets are registered under, you know, and if you are doing some of the commercial things, all the monies should go to the estate account. So, yes, there is a transport that they declared it's under Mudimo Olerato and Tate Olerato, something like that. I know about it, and it is true, it's registered. But then the question again is, there was allegation that there were buses that were stolen by Sandlana. So personally, I followed the issue of the buses.
Okay.
When I followed the buses, I'm declaring that there are buses that I followed that were doing cross-border, cross to Zimbabwe,
Okay.
and roadworthy, with 4 directors in it. Amongst them, there was a contract that was signed. These buses were belonging to IPHC. They were given by Leonard Mudise to these people from Eastern Cape to cross the border and do cross-border Zimbabwe.
Did you just say they were unroadworthy?
I'm saying they are not even roadworthy till today. So those fleet, they falls under the estate.
Okay.
So if the police are saying there are assets or buses that were stolen, those buses are supposed to be verified with the ones that are alleged to have been stolen.
Okay.
But with this one, it's different because, like I said, I then received information to follow these buses, which I reported, and I worked hand in hand with the Hawks to follow these buses. When we follow these buses, there are contracts, there are people that were intimidated, there are people that were harassed, there are people that were taken off buses moving on the freeway. There were fraud and cut and paste of these buses that belongs to IPHC, which is the old buses of the church, that were crossing the border in a benefit or in a commercial interest for the Siripecom, Silo, Leonard and his team, and Hamilton. So, it's not something to hide.
Okay.
So that is something that happened. Commercially, there is fraud. 2, they are using the public roads on unroadworthy buses.
Yes.
Taking buses and crossing the border. The question is not just buses now.
Yeah.
Is then which police are working at the border gate, allowing these buses without papers to cross the border?
Yeah, to and through.
How many traffic officers on a national road, on the N1, that are taking bribery on every bus that passes with illegal documents or false documents? And then how many more people were intimidated to death or threatened that they'll be killed? So I think clearly on that one, SIU has got an inquiry. The Hawks has, according to Mr. Dockett, I followed the bus up to Midrand. When we followed these buses to Midrand, we saw them, like I mentioned before, with Advocate Moloto from the Hawks. I'm not going to hide it. And I was told to back off. So people shouldn't want me to choose side because they believe to a faction.
Yes.
You understand? We are talking criminality here. We are talking about things that are done. People are killed, we must get perpetrators. Buses are stolen, we must recover them.
Yes.
Monies are stolen, we must know how the money moved.
People were killed.
The thing of DNA, I'm not going to preside on that one or put my opinion, except the fact that if they want to do a DNA as the estate, people must stop Mgosiman. They want to create fire amongst these people. I would say the trio brothers or the people of the church must have a conversation of their own in a closed door and see to it how they can go about knowing who is the biological child, who's the beneficiary. It's got nothing to do with public. So public will always fight for unnecessary things.
Obvious. And
so
create
I don't want to get into
factions,
that. My fight is the corruption of the police. My fight is the murders of the people. My fight is, can justice be equal?
Thank you.
You understand?
Thank you.
This is my fight.
Yeah.
My fight is let the people stop using my name to write stories that are vague.
Would you then allow me that if you will? At what point did your relationship, if it has deteriorated, when did that happen?
Between me and who?
Between you and the ESCO. Because now the claims that we are getting is for the camps.
Now, these people, I'm worried about the nation, the members. You see, the heads are a problem. There are people who are following this church here. I don't choose a side.
Right.
But I can tell you that people should not be misled. And I can say to you, unfortunately, people, they'll have anger against you because they think when you come to help, you are sided by somebody or you fall under somebody, which is not true. So the problem is the priest who move from one chair to the other, hopping from here to there for the sake of money, recognition, power, and fame in the church. They are the ones who are causing problem. Because the people whom they lead, they start believing in their voices and in their promises. So that's where the problem is.
From the beginning of when you started this job, the money that went from ESCO as payment, you said you introduced a white company.
Kambisisa Forensic
Kambisisa.
Investigators, yeah.
That means the ESCO paid them
Yep.
So this is where everything began.
This is where the money went, and this is where the money was paid.
Would you estimate?
No, I can't really declare. I know 500,000, half a million.
Yes.
But then I know there was a deposit of 250,000. But remember now, these are white people. He's the director of the company. He doesn't tell me about his accounts. You know, he's just telling me, no, we're paid. You know, and out of that payment, the only operational fee that came to my pocket was 50,000 rands, and to say, look, run.
And do your work. Yes.
The rest of the money, boom, gone. It's not about the money. It's when I realized, what did I just do? I shot myself on the foot.
Yes.
I thought we are working together. But if this person turns against me, so automatically there is a means of corruption and compromise.
This case for IPHC saga is huge, and I really don't understand two things. One, why are you not consulted when everything is done, and yet you were the original person where everything began? That's number one. Yes.
When it comes to that, like I said, I'm notorious in the police. They know me. From the time they were in Johannesburg centrally, I can mention some of them because I know some of them are busy with the fake inquiry. But General Mboto, I know them.
Yeah.
You know, I know the guys. I know, like I said, Shadrach Sibi, I know him. I know Brigadier General Mabuel, I know him. You understand? I met them while they were all in Pretoria. I know the camp in Germiston. I know they divided the camps of the police. So the police are divided by the ministry itself. You understand?
Yeah.
The police are captured by different branches or provinces they are praying at. So we cannot play around about it. So here it's about police using ministry to attack one another.
Yeah.
So the issue of IPHC needs an honest investigation team that is not going to be taking side, or not even members of that church.
Yeah.
For it to find justice and to be executed, and people must be charged or arrested and be prosecuted.
I think maybe in closing on that, with regards with everything that has happened, with the the claims that are going on even on social media, and is there something that you would advise on, that you could recommend as someone who knows deeply on the case and cases that have gone around? Is there something that here I'm asking you as a person? Is there something that you can advise that they would do?
Look, firstly, people must stop gossip. Gossip is dangerous because, like I say, you talk about something, about somebody today, other people won't utter or pass the message as you said it to somebody.
Yeah.
It escalates.
Yeah.
One. Number two, I want the government to fairly not choose side and stop the police from being, more especially if the members of that church are police, let them step back and do investigation. Naputin Frosta, just seeing here now, fighting or maybe him pressing charges against Sandlana.
Yeah.
Because I knew him as the person who liked me, who thought we can work together, who helped me to actually push and sign for the 100,000 that was paid by the ministry of Michael Sandlana in Heidelberg.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
For the operation of bus recovery and tracing, which we did, and Puti was part of. I'm shocked with what I'm seeing here, that he and the old man have cases against one another. Like, it's a shock and it's a surprise to me, because these people were one.
Yeah.
When I'm saying they were one, I'm surprised now there's this kind of a fire going on. You understand? And then worst part, Puti was the person who initiated that Michael Sandlana must pay me to arrest Leonard Modise. They gave me support to go and arrest the camp of Leonard and the people who stole the buses. So why suddenly this kind of a thing? I find that unreliable in terms of submissions of the statements or cases they opened against one another.
And even
I
two-faced.
think they need to sit back. They need to come back. Put in Fanaga. I would say just come back and apply your mind, bruh. Because I don't know what's going on. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on. And then I don't want to get involved because even Judge Patlan, I don't know that woman.
Yes.
You see? But it's amazing to see that there's murders, there's robberies, and people are attacking each other. So with that, my brother, I think the members of the church, all they need to do is to pray. They must be united. Let them not fight for title. That's the least. And the police must have a neutral desk that will centralize all the cases of IPHC with neutral people and honest people who will do a thorough investigation and arrest every perpetrator or suspect they're supposed to do. Then I'm still worried about me. I see I'm talking about these people. I must also address why I'm not impressed. And I'm warning very sincerely so, SAPS members who are after me. Like, guys, stop wasting state resources. You know, you are wasting state resources. Give me a call, meet me wherever you want to meet, but not in your door, in your corners. We can meet at any national police station of South African police stations. And if you want to interview or you have arrest or you want to get answers, let's meet there. This thing of lying and stealing state monies to make and register inquiries as if I'm a third force or I'm a terror suspect in this country must come to an end.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm very pissed off with how the police behave.
Yeah.
So this thing of them hiring people to come after me, they are going to cause more casualties. They are going to cause more harm because I'm not going to just sit back and watch idiots or foolish men with butlers closing their face attack me. I'll retaliate.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sit back. So they must stop using state resources. They must call me in the open. And this matter is no longer SAPS alone. It involves the president of the country. It becomes a matter of national interest.
You said that before.
It becomes a matter of concern because anything that talks of ammunition, talks of murders, talk of high schedules 5, 6, it's of a national interest.
Yeah.
You cannot ignore such a matter, my brother.
Yeah.
So state is they can solve the problem. But they are sitting there and trying to fight against one another.
They're hesitant. They're really hesitant.
No, tell me about change the system.
It is the question now. Can what is going on? But before we spend the whole podcast on the IPHC saga, would you allow me? I just have 2 more questions. Just 2 more questions on this. That have you ever met Untate Puti?
And I met with Puti.
What was the situation like?
Guy. Like, I'm surprised.
Yeah, what was he good to you?
He was a good guy. Like, I liked him. Hey. Out of the people, I saw him as a flexible person to work with and to actually clean crime in the church. Yeah. So I'm surprised with all these things. So it's they know what happens because I'm hearing the allegations that 60 million whatsoever. I don't know those things.
What was the meeting about?
Our meeting, it was to trace the buses and get to Zirbekom. And we followed the buses. And the purpose here was to make sure that the people who were behind the buses that were doing cross-border to Zimbabwe are arrested. And Puti was on my side. So can we not make Puti the topic for now? Can we talk generally about the case? What's happening? So whatever that got between them, I'm not a member of the church.
Yeah.
No, I can't remember what church. But what I don't like is us black people always fighting for nothing, you know, and us escalating interest, becoming enemies for things that we can all solve together.
You know, I always feel like when they happen, it means now we know who it's eating, but then the state is hesitant because
the problem is state they're involved, and like I said, I'm saying it again. Can the police in the churches back off from the police work? Interference is when police interfere with other police work. When a case is opened at police station, the detectives of that station, they carry a mandate of executing.
Yeah.
But the problem is church or bribery, where people take money and compromise the lives of the people. So can our SAPS do the right thing?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not saying I'm perfect. If they feel they've got criminality against me, let them come and arrest me. If they've got evidence of this saying I'm a perpetrator, I'm a dangerous person, let them come. How about I prove a point? I'm waiting for them.
Look, fine. Thank you so much for that. I want to jump to the other case, which is of high concern. However, there's one question that I want to ask you. And this question on the TikTok video that I saw, Memashali and botswa dipotso more on the commission. This question it direct to you because that question was, have you ever felt like you are being used as a tool, and have you ever been bribed?
The system is corrupt. Listen, my brother, there's no way you must keep on putting nice words here. Police must be cleansed. And that woman, I know for years, she's been complaining. Same as me. Me, I never went to public like her the way. I've been writing official emails of confidentiality.
You know the lady?
I know the lady. Well, we have never met. But I've met her once at a national office.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, I've been officially respecting the law. You know what? I've respected these guys. Writing emails, trying to communicate with them.
Proper channels.
Like proper legal system. They are failing to manage their own system of communicating with the whistleblowers. You understand? I've respected them. I've taken them to places. There's no information I've done with the state without me proving right or wrong. And with me, West Part, there are black and white, like I said, the documented thing, the photo thing, everything is there.
Yeah.
So, but they, instead of them teaming up with you because you do a great work, they become your enemy because all they want is to steal and eat. So 80% of operational detectives are corrupt.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
You know,
yeah, no.
you know one thing about SAPS. These people, they are so comfortable. I said it in JJ Staba and I'm saying it again. Number two, how they inform about handling. They are like doctors.
Yeah.
They just prescribe for you anything they want to prescribe for you.
Yeah.
But not only them, deployment. Political deployments, where they deploy people to cover their back. They know their scandals are tall or their tails are tall. Be it in drug syndicate, truck hijacking, human trafficking, you know, terrorism, you can mention them.
Yeah.
But Baba involved. So if you are saying we are having a country without national intelligence or secret intelligence or security, then the country is not a country.
Yeah.
My brother, listen, if you are a man, you protect your family first. If our president and the ministers are our leaders, they must protect the citizens. If they cannot protect us as citizens or the nation, it means we are infiltrated. We are being compromised by our own leadership. And we cannot use political stance to actually reason beyond that. Because it means our president, our ministers are useless. They failed us. Because there is no need to debate and interrogate the whistleblower in parliament. It's like a judge, a lawyer going to court and acting like you. In court, they say you need a lawyer to speak. It's all monetary. It's a scheme. Because we're not a person who was in an action or in a situation. You know how to talk even better than your lawyers.
Yeah.
But because they want to actually promote this career and have a monetary in it, you as a victim or as the accused, you must always relate your story to the lawyer. How or the judge, they say you disrespect the judge. The very same judges who are messed up upstairs, who are actually compromising and brought behind by the suspects or by the police as well. When the police destroy a docket in a court, they destroy it with the prosecutor. When the prosecutor is paid, a prosecutor to deliver to the judge. So let's not fear to speak the truth. Because no, I'm not scared of prison. I've been in prison and I'm not scared of prison.
Yeah. I don't think it's about prison. Because if you look at it, they are so painful that I'm struggling to even go to the next case right now. There are more questions coming in about this IPHC.
My brother, you know what? The IPCC is not a situation we have in the country. But my problem is having to discuss it as if next in IPCC.
And would I be right,
No, I'm not done.
Yeah.
I still want to arrest the people who stole the buses. I'm not done. I still have a pending matter to finish. And I still want to arrest the people we found with the guns.
Yeah.
I still want the people who were planning to kill others being arrested.
Yeah.
I'm not done.
Okay, all right, fine. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. I promise you that. Ndaragumbi, look, man, the Devland cash and carry robbery case of 2014. Can you please say that? Can you please say something about? Look, one of the things that I have here is how do you explain a case where suspects, vehicles, confessions, and recovered goods exist, but the majority of suspects were released and the case stalled? What's this incompetence or deliberation interference?
You see, that one of Daveland Cash and Care alone, it's a sensitive case, my brother. It's a very sensitive case to...
Can we fix that one?
To get into now.
Okay.
A reason being, it involves lots of people. Some of them, Vanguard. You know, it involves SARS. People were burned and roasted on this one here. People were killed in this case. I personally engaged General Munu. I requested for him when people sat in police offices in Germiston, the bogus cops, who actually kidnapped one of the officers from Fanabil Park. That was helping me to follow this case behind. They were literally coming after me. They kidnapped my guy. They took him to Germiston offices. I followed them, you know, and then they wanted to kill me. One of them is serving in prison, Zuma or something, Captain or Colonel Zuma, Germiston, DPCI.
Yeah.
Because there was a money that was stolen or monies that we fought for from SARS. So Dave Lancation care on his own, there was a robbery there. People were killed and burned and roasted there. I personally interacted with Lethal Forces Private Security. I spoke to General Munu. But that case on its own cost me a mess. People came after my life.
Obvious, because as you read the case, it says the document states allegation of hesitant due to alleged SAPS involvement.
Like SAPS is 90% involved, my brother. Some of the police, they can destroy their own beloved families just for money. You understand?
Yes.
We have a problem of the police and people who play along with the police, who think they can bribe everybody.
Yeah.
So now my take is this, my brother. I'm aware that Matlanga Commission is about to call me, possibly, but I'm also aware that they're hesitant.
I noticed that as well, yes.
Other committee wants to call me, but I know they are hesitant. There's a reason why, because these committees, sometimes I hope they can call me in, so that there are some of the things which I can't disclose here now. And mind you, many people, they just walked into that parliament. They don't know the inside of the streets and the inside of the police. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody here. Of course, I know criminals. Of course, I know the gangs. Of course, I know the street, bruh. Yeah. So there's no way I will be always intimidated by the police. If police cannot do their job, let the nation do their job.
Yes.
That is why we have a private sector security companies.
Yeah.
Let the police collaborate with us and work with them. Before I can even talk of me being a private security, my brother, I've been groomed, like I said, by SAPS. You understand? My problem is, who do you trust? They personalize everything. We are not the ones who say they must get into crime. We are not the ones who say they must be part of the syndicate.
That is true. That is true.
So,
look, let me just read this statement. Mr. Gumbe claims this is on the DPCI Hawks disclosure and whistleblowing case. Mr. Gumbe claims to have supplied information on murder cases, corruption, human trafficking, and plots involving senior officials. Look, given the seriousness of this disclosure, why do whistleblowers like yourself appear more exposed than protected? And in South Africa, effectively punishing truth tellers instead of criminals?
You see, like I said, I trusted the SAPS, I trusted police. But once you are inside with them, you'll know what is a police.
Yeah.
Not just this normal police. You're talking of management police. You're talking about flying squad or visible Vispol. Those guys, they are collecting their 50 rands, 100 rands, it's cold drink. Sometimes they are being appreciated for controlling, traffic and so forth.
Yes.
But there are people who do white collar mafia and crime in the suit as generals and brigadiers.
Yeah.
That we shouldn't be hesitant to expose them.
Yeah.
So we being whistleblowers, I don't even like the word because this is my country. You understand? This is our country. We are labeled because of their portfolio of policing.
Diplomacy.
Yeah, but unfortunately, these people, they expose us because they know at the end of the day, they will benefit. And if they protect these people, they'll keep on surviving through criminal benefits. So, of course, when you are an undercover or informant or a source, there's, like I said, Section 2528 that must be placed, which is the authority given by the court to infiltrate or work against syndicate. And my brother, if any other cop, like those whom we have a problem of being part of the syndicate, have issues with me and what we say against them, then we'll meet when it's necessary to meet.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Look, our time is almost up, and I appreciate your time, as always. In closing that work, I just want you to give an advice, words of advice, because I prepared so much questions, not only from me or by the documents that you provided, or by even the viewers, but I prepared so much, but we haven't even tipped the iceberg. Like we're at 1% of what I wanted to ask you. Can you, just words of closing? I
would say to you,
I remember last time you were fighting about Wakereke or Baruti
we need to be honest to each other, guys. South Africa is highly infiltrated. Communities are infiltrated. And policing is not just being a member of SAPS. That is why, like I said, we have a CPF. If you are living in a neighborhood where you suspect there's danger or there's gangsters or there's drugs, report them out. Of course, people are scared of if they expose information, they'll be killed or they'll be attacked.
Yeah.
And then I personally say, can South African military and immigration work on the borders? We don't say they must chase everyone, but we say people must be legitimate in a country. People, so that we can trace fingerprint is very important of individuals.
Correct.
To have an identity of who we're dealing with.
Yeah.
But now let's not only talk about that. Let's talk about our police officers who are running those key points of the country, who are compromised. From OR Tambo, from King Shaka Airport, Cape Town International Airport, there are lots of drugs and cocaine that are coming in there. Can South Africans love their country more? Imagine how beautiful this country will be if we have stable, peaceful atmosphere that people can work freely and sleep without locking their doors.
Yeah.
I mean, criminals these days are dominating because of poverty.
Yeah.
Can government come up with a plan of employment and giving skills to individuals?
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, women are prostitutes today because most of them are left and abandoned by fathers without taking responsibility. Can these guys take care of their children and avoid their children from being perverts in the streets where they are actually bastards in the streets that are, insulted by the society, by environment? It's upon all of us to unite as South Africans, to work as a team and to stop these tribal, racial issues that we have.
Yeah.
Xenophobia is not the key to African unity. All of us, we need each other. We just need to respect each other.
Yeah.
We just need to be honest. Like I always say, for one lie, you still need 1,000 more lies to cover that one lie.
Yeah.
But for one truth, it doesn't matter how much they frame you, they come against you, and they, interrogate you. The truth remains the truth. You know,
It
so
always
as
does.
South Africans, more especially young people out there, they are frustrated. They finish universities, matrics, they don't have anything. It's upon us, the majority, public policing, and train the communities in
Correct.
agriculture, schools as well.
Correct.
Why can't we take these young people, reba for the farming, reba for the skills? You understand?
Yes.
But all this is not for me alone. All of us being communities and members of society, we can do this together.
Yeah.
And then for the Tsotsi Makhomo Shabafetu, I says Katele Bafetu, we are tired. You know,
Yeah.
let's not abuse one another. Let's not terrorize our communities.
Yeah.
What are we benefiting? I'm a victim of being robbed and kidnapped so many times.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of it. But if it's the life that we choose, then until when? You'll only feel pain when you are the target yourself.
Yeah, no. When
You
it
understand?
happens to you, yeah.
When it happens to your family member, that's when you'll realize that this is wrong. Similarly, when we speak out like this, they think we are attacking them.
Yeah.
Listen, my
Yeah,
brother,
ba re tshosetsa.
ba re tshosetsa. O tlo thola hore motho ha o bua ka crime, o bona hore o after yena.
Yeah.
I'm not the one who said there must be criminals. And then, of course, I'm saying, can the government do something? And remember, if the state fails and the police fails, the head of the police, the minister or national commissioner, but accountable, will blame them for lack of performance and failure to serve the nation.
Thank you, Network. Thank you so much. I think next time we will be able to talk about the how far are you with the commission, how far are you with everything else. But as for today, thank you for your time.
Look, most of the cases, I'll disclose them.
Yes.
When these people call me in.
Yeah.
But even if they don't, for us to be neutral, I think our people need to know the truth. What is this country looking like?
Yeah.
And if all of us can share the thought, we'll have a better way to stop danger in our society.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Criti Bold Vanguard, where we have an open dialogue. And we are grateful to Ntate Musa for being with us today. This is just part one of everything that we're just talking about, because we couldn't even get through everything else. But I just want to thank Ntate Musa for being here. Ntate Musa, till next time, please say goodbye to South Africa.
No, Naki Alebua, thank you very much, viewers. And then my message, SAPS guys, stop wasting your resources. I'm here. Give me a call. You've got my number. You've got my ID. Stop wasting your resources and your ink and the state data looking for me. I'm a citizen of South Africa. I'm based in Gauteng province. If you want to meet me, just give me a shout. Stop lying to yourself. Thank you very much. We thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Can we please advocate unity and love, guys? We need each other, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
And with those powerful words, South Africa, good evening and thank you.
Wow, thanks very much.
That was better.